Yo, what's up, everyone? Thank you for being here.
What's going on?
You're hot off the heels of Breakpoint. um, how was it, Chris? By the way, give us a
Oh,
little rundown.
dude. Oh man, it was absolutely incredible, man. It was once in a lifetime experience. Hopefully not once in a lifetime though. Hopefully you're gonna go back again next year and the year after that and the year after it and the year after that. Um, just amazing to connect with people who I speak to every single day on the timeline, people who I've connected with over the past couple of years, and yeah, making new friends as well. Everything was so incredibly well organized. Attention to detail was like nothing was unaccounted for. Like everything was perfect. Free food, free drinks, incredible merch. And yeah, just also great to connect with the rest of the team as well. Well, some of the rest of the team. Obviously, Jeff was there, Deval was there. So cool to spend some time with the boys. And yeah, it was great, man.
Yeah, I definitely had some serious FOMO. I'm a bit bleak. I couldn't make it during in the middle of a move and other things. So, but it honestly looked like it almost looked like a music festival. It was like crazy. It would just looked like there were so many little fun activities. The Coachella of blockchain events. But
Dude,
yeah,
definitely.
right. Chris
Yeah,
actually also
definitely. I mean, it's, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Chris also created a very, very cool after movie, which will be releasing later near the end of the stream. So if you weren't there as well, you can also live vicariously through his experiences. But anyway, Chris, carry on.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say it's interesting because obviously, like in my 20s, I was playing at a lot of these big festivals and stuff, and it had the same energy, but like almost like a sober version of that. Like you're there networking and making friends and stuff, but the production quality is right up there with music festivals like Ultra. And it's like two very different worlds, but from a production point of view, very much the same. Like there's just like everything is just perfect. You know, it's so well organized and there's so much to do. In fact, on the last day, I literally there was a whole different area, like a dev cave and a bunch of things that I didn't even know were there. I hadn't even explored the whole venue yet. So on the last day, I was like, oh wow, I didn't even know that this stuff was here.
I love that. You're finding little kind of secret. That was kind of like Amsterdam. I feel like there was such little, like all these different little places in this like kind of cool industrial zone. But anyway, right. The main reason we also here today is to talk to our friend Nikki, just so think some more people kind of flow into the live stream. But I'll give him a little bit of an introduction. So we got our friend here, Nikki Scans, founder of Layer 33, which is a new indie validator movement, and also just a long-term Solana ecosystem enjoyer. I'm sure you've seen him around, maybe DGEM Ape Academy. He was very prominent there in the early days. And yeah, let's get him on and let's hear about his experience at Breakpoint as well, since he had a really big talk as well about Layer 33. Nikki, what's up, my brother? How you doing?
Hello there. This is quite the professional operation. It's getting me a little bit overwhelmed. Thought we were doing casual. Fix my chair. Everyone give me a sec. I didn't realize this was going to be.
Hey, I wear the college,
watching, like,
wore the college
commercial run
shirt for
through,
you
I'm
today,
like-
bro. I even got the little college shirt on, bro. You're gonna keep it fancy.
Yeah, you guys are crushing it. I do want to make sure before we get started, make sure that the stream is working from my account. If you want to check real quick.
Let me have a look for you, sir.
It says stream this to your audience. Click, and then it shows the two destinations. How do you guys feel about the audience seeing the behind the scenes like this, right? A little behind the curtain of what goes on with trying to live stream.
I think it's good. Makes it
No,
feel
that's
human,
fine.
right?
Yeah,
Um,
it's not popping up yet.
Interesting. So it says stream this to your audience and it says select destinations. Let me click. I gotta click them.
Yeah, you got to
Okay.
click them, and then it should add it to the top. You should see it at the top right. Yeah.
It says a title. What do you want me to title it, guys?
You can just say Phase Live featuring Layer 33.
Phase Live is going to be it. Title
That's
Phase
perfect.
Live. And then what?
Layer 33.
Enter.
Layer 33 and Breakpoint, because I feel like that's going to be definitely the main topic of conversation, is those things. So they kind of flow into one another, don't they?
I'm just doing that. Okay. So then I can go like, okay, orientation. I'm just going to hit save changes. Oh, select orientation. Which orientation do I pick, guys?
Landscape.
Landscape for
Definitely.
both.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Landscape. All the whole streaming audience is going to know how to use StreamYard after this.
StreamYard.
Oh, well, there we go.
StreamYard tutorial
Join us
video.
in Phase Live. You get a free tutorial on StreamYard.
We'll clip this. We'll clip this and we'll actually put it out as a
hell yeah.
tutorial. So perfect.
Yeah, and the Phase team made me spend $20 on a monthly membership. That's why I got rugged immediately.
Funny enough is that he didn't actually have to do that. So I don't know how that happened, Nikki. But
these guys,
hey, listen,
these guys must have a referral deal with StreamYard. Every one of your guests pays $20, and you guys take 20%.
It is a juicy partnership. It helps feed our Pokemon addiction.
Don't get me started. It's too early.
I know. Let's not go there. Right?
Let's not go there.
Let's focus on
All right,
decentralization.
Chris, can you check right now?
I'm having a look. Let's see. Okay, you're live on your personal account. And let's have a look. Layer 33 is not live yet, just on your personal at the moment.
It says check mark. Interesting.
Oh no, it's live. It's live on Layer 33. I just see it now.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it, boys and girls.
Imagine a world where tech works like it's supposed to, right? That would be nice.
No, then they wouldn't be able to keep you on the platform for as long as they do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, it's working now.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet.
So, Nikki, why don't you give us a little bit of a rundown of your experience at Breakpoint? Maybe just more so on the personal side, and then we can dive a little bit into Layer 33 side.
Okay. Yeah, that works. That was the furthest trip I've ever taken in my life, but it was pretty cool. Getting to explore a new place like Abu Dhabi. Pretty exciting. The production quality. You guys are talking about a little bit earlier. Like the production quality is insane. It's up there with any professional event you could possibly go to. I don't know if anyone in the audience has ever been to like a regular like business conference. Like this isn't even close to that, right? Like like one of those business conferences that's at like a airport hotel. Like this is 1000x whatever that wishes it could be. As soon as you walk in, you're sort of engulfed in like this Solana Disney World type feeling. It's like the only time you're like, wow, like I love it here. Like I don't care about price action at all. It's like this is like you're just sort of engulfed in like the Solana world, and it feels very reassuring. And then also that it's like 7,000 plus people that you can't believe are like all on the same page with you at this is a really cool experience. So if you've never been to one and you manage to find one that's not, too far of a trip for you, definitely recommend going. And as for my experience, so many of these people there, I already know being here for the last 4 years. So just getting to reconnect with a lot of them that I haven't seen in person yet was amazing, over 3-4 days. And then also going and representing the validator community. It was amazing how many validator operators were walking up to me and chatting me up and exchanging info. And truly, amazing. Met a lot of new people, met a lot of people that I already knew and had to catch up with. Really cool.
No, man, it looked honestly amazing. I'm super bleak that I couldn't make it, but I am excited about, or maybe I'm the one person who's excited about London next year. Although Tokyo would be super sick. I can't.
Let's not.
Oh, sorry.
Is that we're gonna get in trouble.
Okay, all right. My bad. Anyway, London it is. So
Seb, do you know that, and hopefully with risk of getting on your bad side, I thought you weren't going. And then I saw you there and had a conversation with you. Do you know this story?
Wait, someone was busy telling me about this. No, who are you talking to? Was it Maurice?
Maurice, yeah.
No, what?
The funniest thing is that
I had like a 5-minute conversation. I think when I first saw him, I yelled something along the lines of like, "Oh, it's the other Seb," and like because I had just gotten done talking to Seb Montgomery. And I was like, "Oh, it's the other Seb," and then we started chatting. And I think he was so like in a rush because obviously with Soulflare was like the star of the event, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That he probably was just like, I don't even have time to explain to this moron that like I'm not who he thinks he is.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
And then Dirt like told me after, he's like, did you think that was Seb? I'm like, yeah, what do you mean? He's like, dude, that was Maurice. So now
Dude,
I have a picture of you and him on my phone now, saved, because I'm like, people telling me that you guys don't look alike. I'm like, are you out of your mind? It's the same.
That is actually, you know what?
My God.
Just to get things going here, what I'm going to do is, and let's see what the audience can also give us a bit of of their opinion here. Let's go look at Maurice's profile. All right, let's go look at Maurice. Okay, guys,
Hold up.
you can see my face right here.
I literally in my app, in my photos on my phone, like the last 2 saved images are the 2 of your faces, like zoomed in. I'm like, I will not be gaslit into being said that these people look nothing alike.
Yeah, no, Dave, I'm sorry, bro. You do look pretty alike, man. Not identical.
No, but like in passing an event with thousands of people.
Oh yeah. I would say the biggest difference is definitely the hair. Seb's hair is a little bit longer and a bit more messy.
A little bit longer. Yeah. You might, and Seb, I don't think we've ever met in person.
I don't know. We had, dude. Come on, dude. I feel like I don't know how we were literally hanging out with each other at Accelerate. We sat next to each other at one of the
At
talks.
which thing?
At one of the talks.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Yeah,
okay, I remember that now. You guys were like super inviting. You're like, oh, come sit down next to me. I do remember that.
So Maurice is gonna love this. He's gonna love this when he sees this. When you clip
I
this.
sent Maurice an apology message. He hasn't gotten back to me yet. So I thought I'm like, okay, this guy hates me forever. But then he tweeted something like calling out Layer 33 and saying like, oh, what an amazing job Nikki did with this. And I'm like, clearly he hasn't seen my apology message yet, or didn't realize that I didn't know it was him.
Bro, they're so busy. They are so busy at Soulful. I mean, we work with them under Netrunner. We're doing some fun stuff with them, and I mean, they are just chock-a-block.
So now I insulted him in person, and then I just insulted you because I didn't remember that we sat next to each other to Accelerate. I'm on a roll. Give me a break. I'm still
it's fine.
sick.
Don't worry.
Jet lagged.
Don't worry, bro. It's all good. It's just so funny because Dirt told me that he was like talking to a guy for like a couple minutes, trying to explain to them that Seb is not at Breakpoint, that the person they were talking to was not Seb. So the fact that you come on here and you say that, it brings it all full circle, is just hilarious. That's unbelievable.
I'm a mess, man. People, anyone who's ever been impressed with me, take it back. Like, clearly.
honestly, I take it as a compliment. I love Maurice. He's an absolute legend. He's a very, very good friend of mine. So
and handsome guy too.
Yes, he's one of my mustache style brethren. You know.
Yeah, there's definitely could be worse.
The thing is, as soon as I shave this mustache off, no one will recognize me, bro, and I'll become a nobody. So I keep it on.
Who are you?
It's your whole identity, Seb.
Yeah,
I remember sitting next to you at Accelerate now. Who were you with? There was somebody else from FaZe that you were there with.
Was it me and Devour? Or Jeff? No. It was maybe me or Devour? Pretty sure. It was me.
So the way my brain works is I sort of like context, like I add like context to people. So like you're a different person now post Layer 33 in my brain than before. Does that make sense? Like
yeah, because we've interacted a lot more and we've like spoken a lot more in depth about things. So I think it's just you get a little bit more context on one another, right?
But like so when I work with someone in a certain context, like because now I work with you guys very directly and we interact daily. It's like, okay, there's this version of a person and then there's a version of them from before I got to know them.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. There might be something wrong with me.
No. I think like this is, and you know, at risk of us digressing too much. This is something I spoke about with someone the other day, right? Is there's a lot of the time where, you know, if there's someone, and this doesn't necessarily mean you don't have to like this person, but there's someone you may be like, let's just use an example. There's this person that I don't really like too much because I've seen them do certain things. But then I meet them and we actually talk, and then it's like, oh, now we're like fucking best friends. You know, there's that kind of thing. Chris, you gotta.
I have a story. A story.
Last story, boys, and then we're getting into Layer 33. All right, let's go. Chris,
okay. All right. So speaking about people who you see something and you know you're not really, you don't know if you like the person and whatever, maybe it's something puts you off, whatever. I bump into Leap and Lucifer at Breakpoint, and we're chatting, and I've been a big fan of Leap for a long time. I've often showed up on his spaces and had good conversations with him and stuff. And I actually wasn't sure who Lucifer was in the moment. So I just kind of introduced myself. We got chatting. We had a really good conversation. And I was like, we should follow each other on X. So he goes onto his X account and he searches for me and I have him blocked.
You haven't blocked? That's actually kind of funny though.
I don't even know why, but anyway, I unblocked him and we chatted and we're friends now. So shout out to Lucifer.
He's the goat, dude. I can understand why you may have had him blocked though in the past.
Funny
funny
story.
Timeline.
You had Lou blocked or Leap?
Yeah. No.
Which
Lucifer.
one?
Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Oh, Lou
I
knows.
can't imagine
Lou
blocking Leap. You know?
Lou's inflammatory. He knows.
Yeah,
he knows his brand.
Yeah. For sure.
I can't even imagine. He probably wasn't even insulted. He's probably like, yeah, I probably said something horrible.
No, he wasn't. He's like, this has happened many times before. He's like, this is not the first time.
Yeah, no, he knows. He has the self-awareness.
Oh man, shout out to Lou and Leap. But no, I mean, honestly, awesome. I love all the stories, boys. Breakpoint looked like a blast. I'll definitely be there next year for sure. But yeah, diving a little bit deeper, I'm really excited about what we're going to talk about today, right? Layer 33. I'm sure most of you have heard about it at this point. Nick did a talk at Breakpoint as well about it. Obviously a growing issue that's been happening in the ecosystem that we at FaZe are also extremely passionate about, and just aligns perfectly with Nicky's vision with Layer 33 is really stake decentralization on Solana and also protecting the Nakamoto coefficient or I'm also like it's Byzantine fault tolerance if we want to get really in the weeds, but essentially just maintaining that it's we'll go over it later, but essentially it's just like making sure that there isn't an inflow of stake into the super minority of validators, right? Mm-hmm. That are then able to potentially halt the network, perform double spend attacks, all these kinds of things, right? Like we're not saying that if you're a big validator in the network that you're gonna do these things, but it's obviously gets more and more scary, or it gets scarier the more stake that is centralized into fewer entities, because then the control and the network's future, it becomes a little bit shaky, right? It takes less and less people to do something, together to halt or disrupt the network. So I think, Nicky, starting off very, simply and plain, what is Layer 33 and what is it trying to achieve?
Yeah, definitely simple. So, and just on the super minority stuff, like, I think the way that I explained it because my dad had watched my talk and obviously had no idea what I was talking about and any of it. And I was trying to explain it in simple terms, which I've become a little bit more practiced at. It's like, if we end up with 5 large scale institutional validators that have 90% of the stake weight, like what's the difference between us and just a regular money banking system, right? Where it's like money's just getting sent from one to the other. And so there's some checks and balances in the middle. It's like, okay, we're just regular banking, but digital now. The whole point of Solana and proof of stake is the idea that anyone who has performant hardware and the technical prowess can power the network from their house. That's the magic, right? So if you remove that and we just end up in the super minority having 90% of the stake and it's large institutional validators, we've sort of lost the twinkle in our eye a bit. So that's sort of how I've been explaining that. What is Layer 33? So Layer 33 is a coalition of, it's 25 validators right now, which can be confusing to some people because why Layer 33 with 25 validators? The idea behind the name is the 33% threshold. It's sort of like a universal agreement. This is not like an exact number, but it's sort of a universal agreement within the ecosystem that as long as 33% of all stake weight is on independent validators or indie validators, we're basically safe from centralization and central powers, and we're safe from the super minority, which again, the super minority isn't some evil group, right? But it's like, as long as 33% is on these, household validators, we sort of still have our identity as a decentralized chain. So that's where the 33 comes from. The coalition, it's the way I think about it is, imagine if versus a stake pool, imagine if, 25 teams came together to start their own project, right? So you have your regular stake pools out there, which are amazing and they promote decentralization. But the biggest difference is with all of those stake pools, every single validator within it would prefer that you stake with them directly because the incentives go that direction, right? Now, it's how can you incentivize a group to want stake to go to that stake pool overall? And that's where layer 33 comes from, right? Joint incentives, joint story to tell, joint mission, one umbrella, right? It's not a stake pool. It's a project. It's a company. It's a public good. Yeah. And then it's caught fire from there. Ton of attention early on, as you guys have seen, and appreciate you guys being a part of it.
Thanks, Nick. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, right, where I think we've seen this kind of happening over the last few months, almost even like just how this kind of centralization of stake is and how DATs can affect this, right? There's obviously, many DATs that are here to really, support the network, and we're not saying that they're all bad or whatever, but it's just one of those additional like problem areas that we've seen arise now, where like a lot of these deals are going to these central staking providers, and it's millions, multiple millions. These ETFs, right? They come in, if all ETF stake is only between 2 or 3 different providers, that's really bad, right? If once we have a really massive inflow of as we already have had, like I think Solana's ETF volume has been some of the highest of any ETF.
It's been really, really good.
Like in the hundreds of millions within the first week, which is insane. And this group is really all about kind of maintaining that decentralization. And I think as a coalition together, right, like it's a lot easier to try and build services and tools that can help the larger ecosystem, and therefore warrant this group or these nodes to get support via stake. Because talking about some of these other big providers out there, and I think Nick, you can agree here, like a lot of these other massive providers that are getting tons of stake, is they have these offerings they can provide these larger players, right? Whether it be trading, or AMMs or whatever these kinds of things are, which is kind of hard to beat or to compete with as a small indie validator, right? You only have so many resources. And I think a lot of people just think that if you run a validator, you're making tons of money, right? Yes, at times validators could make or were making a lot of money if you had a lot of stake, right? If you're an early validator and you managed to, be early on the network and get trust and you got a lot of stake, of course. Smaller validators that came up, yes, some could get some good stake, right? But as time goes on, those returns diminish, and also the availability of stake. And that's why you've seen so many stake pools pop up and things like that. But I mean, now in the current environment, it is like, you need like 100,000. You need, I think it's about 100 to 120,000 or something at 0% commission, 0% MEV,
150.
which is 150 to even break even is ludicrous. Yeah. Like it's insane. So what I'm getting at, right, is that these node operators are not just sitting around making tons of money and haven't just been sitting around making tons of money for ages. They're actively putting the money they've been making, especially this group in layer 33, into the ecosystem, into products, into building things. It's not just like sitting back like a fat cat and just like, sucking up all the rewards.
Yeah, there's a huge difference. People, the best way to explain it is like these institutional teams, their job is fiduciary duty, right? Like their job is to make stock prices go up and increase revenue and increase yields over all else. The Solana ecosystem is, third on their list of priorities, if not lower than that. When you're talking about like needing to restart the network or, test new updates, or if your validators, if an RPC is going down at 3 a.m., like institutional validators are not doing this. Like, again, that's not their job. That falls on the back of the indie validators. And when it comes to like the percentage of the payouts that are going back into the ecosystem, it's very clear that it's a much, much higher percentage for the indies. It's just it's just the incentives, right? Like it's the teams that were sort of born here, right, are going to, the ones that are come to the events, like they're at Breakpoint, they're testing Firedancer, they're testing BAM, they're going to try 000 out for the first time, like network resets, updates. Like it's just, those are the indie validators. And if we lose that, like we're no different than traditional finance, honestly. And we talk about the ETFs and like the DATs. the problem there is not like, it's not on purpose. It's just regular traditional finance, right? It's like, okay, giant billion-dollar entity does a thing, and then they, align with the other like multi-million-dollar entity. Like that's just how the world works, right? That's why everything sort of funnels up. And Solana is meant to be different than that. So there's a place for those, right? And that's capitalism. Like, of course, there's no way we're escaping that altogether. But that's why it's so important that we provide this layer of protection versus the inevitable, right? Layer 33, this layer of protection, protect that 33%, knowing that it's inevitable that a very large percentage is going to funnel up to these institutional validators, because that's just the way the world works, right? And the other sort of along the same vein, and it was a point that I've sort of overused now, but I'm going to keep doing it. We were at Block Zero, and Michael from Soul Strategies and Dan Albert from Foundation were on purpose sort of playing devil's advocate against Layer 33, and how like if the market decides that AMMs and market makers and institutions should be the only ones running validators, then sort of so be it. And one of like my responses to that was like, then why even have Block Zero? Like, what's the point of this? Like, just get Binance and Figment and Helios on a Zoom call, and we can skip Breakpoint altogether, right? Like that's because if you truly believe like that's the way it should head, then what's the point of this? And I like to hope that landed. And sort of as part of the story we're trying to tell.
Yeah, where's the culture gone, right? Like, personally through our experience running Aero, like our Solana stake pool, we've managed to help multiple teams get their validators up and running, like support them through the process. And there are so many amazing people that just want to build on Solana and really truly love this network, and running a validator is a great way to sustain themselves working full time and building on the network. If it's like the market, like I feel like that's even in devil's advocate, like that point, it's like, well, if the market decides, it's like, who says the market's always right? Like, how much dumb shit does the market do on a regular basis? Like, if there's the ability to help influence the market's decision in a positive way, as in what Layer 33 I think can do for that, and show people that, hey, there are alternatives, and you can get good yield, you can get the same if not better yield from this group, and there's a positive impact that you make, then I think then that's an amazing initiative, and it makes complete sense. Gabriel says something here also, what a great way to bridge people into client level code understanding of how the network works. 100%. Gabriel on the right there, he's our head of staking at FaZe, absolute legend, huge proponent behind Sentinel and Aero, and he knows firsthand with helping these different teams with like going through the process of setting up a validator, how much they've actually learned and how much more they can improve the network. Like, Solana isn't Solana anymore if there isn't that kind of like that gritty kind of community behind it either. Like, sure, in a however many years we may lose that just naturally due to the financialization of the market and where it goes, but it's also like that's what made this so special in the first place, right? Like, and we have an opportunity to maintain that that community. So I think Layer 33 is doing that beautifully. Chris, I think you maybe had a question as well that you wanted to ask.
Yeah, it was kind of the breakpoint or partially breakpoint related question. But Nikki, you've described representing Layer 33 at Breakpoint as like one of the coolest experiences of your professional career. What were some of the standout moments or interactions that you had that like energized you most?
Well, one, it was the platform that I was given on short notice. Between I got interviewed by The Street, which is Jim Cramer's like publication, which is really cool.
Oh wow.
I got interviewed by Solana Floor, and I got main stage at Breakpoint with something that was brand new and on very short notice.
That's
so
big.
That was super affirming, right, to like the importance of this. And then on like the specific question, it truly, I mean, this is dramatic, but like it felt like, I'm like, wow, like there are so many indie validators, whether they're in layer 33 or not, that have been frustrated for years by like their lack of voice and presence. And it's like they view me up there as like truly representing them, and they clearly communicated that to me both before, during, and after. So like to help be responsible for the success of someone's business, especially when that business is a direct contributor to the success of the ecosystem we call home, it's a lot of pressure in the best way. And I took that and I still take that very, very seriously. And I'm hoping that like this is just the beginning of that. So that was really a privilege. And I'm hoping that we can encourage others to become more vocal about this, and get further away from this idea that it's okay to like just have, you run your validator and you sort of keep to yourself and you just talk amongst validators. Like that's why like FaZe has the right idea. Like it's not enough to just run multiple performant nodes. Like you need to build a brand around it. You need to communicate. You need to story tell, and you need to get front and center. And you can see from like what occurred with layer 33 so far, like why that's so important. So yeah,
Amazing.
I mean, just massive.
Great answer, man. And I think, it's interesting for me because my exposure to the Solana ecosystem as a whole was always very kind of like the degen side of things, NFTs, meme coins, just messing around. And I've obviously recognized how powerful the network is, and I've had my fair share of aha moments where I'm like, Solana is the future. But what's been so great working at FaZe is starting to understand the importance of these validators and understanding like why it matters, and learning more about decentralization and stuff. And hopefully, people who watch these streams will also learn more and start to understand the importance of the backbone of Solana instead of just, trading meme coins all day.
Yeah, it is important to get educated on it. And the thing, it's still very early here. And what I mean by that is like the variety of products is low. So like validators are a piece of, 10 different things that you can do here, right? Like if you look at all the different teams building on Solana, like there's not that much variety yet. We sort of like admit that. And validators are the most important of those teams, and they're by far the quietest. So trying to change that. And like you said, when you come in here, that's not what you heard about. Like you didn't even realize that these are like approachable teams that you can talk. You can talk to the teams that are running the network whenever you want. When you first get here, it's NFTs and meme coins, or DeFi tokens or protocols and yield and all that.
Exactly.
That's a good point. Like I remember before we got into the staking sphere, like what is it, like middle of last year or earlier last year with with Aero, and before we set up our own FaZe Labs validator, it was very interesting to get into those ecosystem calls. And shout out to Ben and Tim, they've done an amazing job with the SFDP, and I've always been very supportive, I think, of change and like just in general of the community. But that was really like it opened a whole new world. Like, oh wow, there's this whole this underbelly of Solana that like people just have no idea about, and there's a lot of really amazing people here busy like helping to make the network run. And it's weird because you're like, how do more people not know about like literally the people that make sure that Solana actually works,
exactly,
updating their validators, they're doing testnet updates, and then to mainnet, making sure that they're testing new clients, all these kinds of things, fired on, so whatever it may be, 00 with all that they're doing. So yeah, I think that also leads into something interesting. And also just shout out to everyone in the chat. Overfed, absolute legend. Pa, thanks for being here. Gotto, the homie, thank you, brother. Gabriel, Lucas, right back at you, dude, and Drew as well. Drew from Dino Pool, absolute goat, and ice staking.
And layer 33.
And layer 33 as well, yes. So on an interesting note here, like talking about products and services and things like that, what are some of the ideas, if you can share, like that Layer 33 is looking to offer, right? Like, how is this group looking to expand its offerings as a whole and provide value, as a group?
So first, and this sort of leads into the rest, we want to empower the members of Layer 33 to build whatever they want. So it's not an incubator, but it provides like fractionalized BD and marketing to what you already want to build. So it's like we have like Drew, for instance, and then others who have these incredible products, core infrastructure products that they want to make, but it's like, okay, like I don't have the time to create a brand and market it and run socials and then do BD. And then if I need to raise money, do I have time for that? And it's like, let Layer 33 handle it, right? Like you build what you want to build, and our big brand that we've now created will handle the rest. So that's really expanded across like anything. You can make whatever you want. But like that being said, some of the low hanging fruits, right? Like transaction landing, monetizing the block space that we have for the, we have 18 million SOL between the Layer 33 validators, RPC services, the guys are RPCs. And then we are looking into working on some secret projects that we're not going to reveal quite yet, but think, deep core infrastructure. I said during the Breakpoint talk, like I told everyone to think big and then think bigger. And I want to like rehash that again. Because the worst that happens is like we build something incredible. Right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that's all that can happen, right? It's an incredible group that's come together. So
yeah.
No, so basically Layer 33 is a DAO. No, I'm kidding. We're not going to even bring that up.
No one hates a DAO more than Nikki.
I'm kidding.
We all know. This is make a point on this. Anytime you need to move quickly on something and need to do a DAO vote on it, it makes me want to smash my head through a desktop. Like
only vote you should be doing is a squad's multi-sig, signing. That's the closest you should get to a DAO.
Yes, no, 3 or 4 people needing to sign off on a wall transaction. That's the most I'll do.
That's the most. Chris, I think you were starting to say something, so I cut you off there, brother.
Yeah, I wanted to say, I really, I know that this is maybe like slightly, I guess it's not off topic, but I really love the branding and all of the like visuals and imagery on the Layer 33 account. I love how if you restack the pieces of the Layer 33 logo, it actually becomes the Solana logo. But it also kind of reminds me of like Skrillex. Like Skrillex had like a similar logo to that as well. What was kind of the inspiration behind like the branding and the black and white and stuff? I don't know. It's just, it's very, very impactful. Like I'm looking at it on X right now and it looks super clean.
So the credit I'll take on any of the branding is simple, and it's that I like to empower others who are talented. So Kimosabi basically was just like, hey, can I just do the branding for this? And I was like, yeah. And it was like, what do you want? I'm like, whatever you want. Like, just own it. Just whatever you want to do, just do it. And this was the result. So I had no part of this at all. I did an interview with him and told him what the goals are for the company. And then who named it? Seb, was it you who came up with Layer 33 or was it Devour?
Essentially, Devour came up with the name Layer 33. I gave a few options, but I think Devour's was much better. I'll take some small credit for the logo, because what I did was I took what Kimo made and I put this, but just on the upside, like the other side. Then he turned it to the side, and we were like, that looks great. So I had a slight help in the logo.
Yeah, design. I do remember that it was originally tilted,
and then he turned it to the side from what I took from the Solana, because I took the Solana, like the middle Solana, or which one is it? Like I took one of the Solana pieces and I made it like flat, and then like stairs, and then Kimo took that and he turned it to the side. But I mean, I took his original idea from him, and then I just took the pieces and made a. So the
branding is just the result of good people with autonomy.
Definitely,
I mean, encourage.
Yeah, No,
And
really,
Chemo's got an amazing
Josh,
site. Chris, you'll see it soon. Chemo's got an amazing site he's working on as well. And then also, obviously, shout out to Devour on the name, my brother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout
what a
out to
talent-
Chemo.
what a
Great
talented
work, man.
guy he is.
The branding is excellent. Really, really good job.
Yeah, it was Chemo and the boys. They absolutely crushed it. It's move, and it's just a result of just move quickly. You got the right people. We were very lucky that he was willing to just take this on, and then just say yes. Just keep saying yes. Yep, that's great. You want to do that? Sure. Like, yep, you want to do that? That's a great idea. Just keep going. Like, stop putting the brakes on. Stop nitpicking. Especially, don't nitpick your talented people. Like, just give them the power to do what they want to do, and just let them do it. You want to encourage that type of behavior, right? And I'd like to think that that's what we did, and Chemo delivered quickly too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy how quickly this all came together. I want to quickly give a shout out there in the chat. Good. What's up, Chris? Thanks for the good morning. Blakey, what's up, man? Lucas, no, it was not voted on by the DAO, dude. Don't bring up a DAO again. That was my bad. I apologize. And then Zed, thank you for the repost. But I mean, it's actually pretty crazy because, like, Nick, I remember when you DM'd me in the early stages of this, and you were like, "Hey, you have this idea," and it just literally just went like, dude, hyper speed. I think it was how long ago was it that we had our first call and you were mentioning this? It was like maybe a month ago.
Yeah, maybe 5 weeks ago, something like that.
Something like that. So
yeah, I legitimately have like manic episodes when I get excited about something, and I just go, which is why like I struggle so much at something like Breakpoint, because I feed off of other people's energy. So like when there's so much energy around me, I feel like I'm literally high for like a week straight.
Dude.
And that's sort of like what happened with Layer 33, is because if I had brought this to everyone and you guys were like sort of meh on it, it would have been a much more regular timeline. But because you were getting on the phone with me immediately and talking through it, and were excited, and I could feel your enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is incredibly contagious, especially to someone who's susceptible to that, like me. And then there's just like, if you have a group of enthusiastic people, you can accomplish things in a month that would take others 2 years.
Yeah. No, even you just talking
that.
about it, bro. Even you just talking about it, like, gets me hyped up. You know, I think it's one of those things that was needed. I think everyone knew it needed to happen, but you just came together and you were like, let's fucking do this. You know, because I think there was that feeling of like, if people don't band together now, it's just never going to happen, and it's just going to be, you know, like there's an opportunity here, and that shouldn't be wasted, right?
Can I ask you a question, Seb?
Yeah, of course.
You guys had like, okay, so obviously between, you know, there's like FaZe and Radiance, and you guys have a lot of companies, and it's confusing to me sometimes, but but you guys
I'll
are
give
incredible.
the rundown actually. Yeah. Sorry.
There's you guys have how many pools? Like how many stake pools within that group?
Okay, so first, to give a distinction, right? Radiance is entirely separate from FaZe Labs. The only connection to FaZe Labs and Radiance is that myself, Devour, Gabriel, and I think Dan was also helped in the early days, all helped with the development and like launch and growth of Radiance, right? So a little bit of story time. I don't want to get too into it, but essentially Radiance was an idea that I think it was Chemo brought up like 4 years ago. We started FaZe in 2022. Okay. And there was this idea Chemo brought up for Radiance. Then 2 years ago, he brought it up again, and then Devour jumped on with him. And then we came on to help like bring this thing to reality. And the whole idea was always for Radiance to turn into a self-sustaining community, which it is now. Actually, my younger brother is the COO, Lib. He's the chief operating officer of Radiance, and there's a few other team members. Devour still helps with Radiance. I'll still help here and there, but it's really Chemo's ship, right? It's really Chemo's ship, and it doesn't actually involve FaZe other than it being like something we helped start. But it doesn't affect FaZe's business operations whatsoever. There's no like connection in business operations. The teams are entirely separate. So under FaZe, and a little bit of a heads up, we actually are going to be doing a rebrand, final rebrand of the year for 2026. This is needed. We've kind of been a bit everywhere, so you're going to see Aero and Sentinel change slightly and become a little bit more kind of synonymous with FaZe itself, and Netrunner is going to stay by itself. But all in all, only one stake pool there is Aero pool.
It's Aero.
That's it, Aero Pool, which is our 1 million Sol stake pool in collaboration with the Solana Foundation, and we delegate to about 170 to 180 validators. And yeah, we actually
how do you choose the validators within that?
So essentially, it's really like, through submissions, right? And we gauge their contributions to the network. We are improving that quite a bit. We have something very exciting coming. It's just an improved phase delegation. It's going to be a little bit more strict. It's going to be a little bit more well optimized after what we've learned over the last year and a half. But in the past, it was very much people would submit, we review their submission, what contributions are they making? Is their website made entirely by Lovable or Replit? Are they actually providing any kind of value, whether it be as a developer or as a project, building on chain or whatever it may be. So that was it.
Okay, these were all like preliminary questions to basically eventually getting to, it's like, what do you view as like the big differentiator between Layer 33 and Aero, and why you're able to be as excited about Layer 33 as you are while also working on Aero?
I think it's just, a perfect answer to this is it's increased decentralization. The more pools that you have providing stake to different validators on the network is kind of like that's its own form of decentralization, right? Like if we talk about how there is stake that needs to be, these stake pools are funded by, foundation. Like not all of them, of course, but a lot of them, right? Like the SFTP, the Solana Foundation delegation program, needs to not be a thing in 5-10 years from now, maybe even sooner, right? So what does the foundation do with all this SOL? They need to give it to support other teams that can do this autonomously, right? So I think it's just Layer 33 is another version of this, and it's another improved version. Maybe each of these pools improve upon one another. Maybe in 3 years, some of the pools, aren't around anymore, and the foundation chooses to move that stake to another pool, right? It's like we don't know what's going to happen, but I think Solana is very uniquely positioned as the only chain that I know of that has such a comprehensive stake pool initiative or ecosystem. I don't know any other chain that has as many stake pools as Solana and that have as many different requirements. You have some for performance, you have some for geographic, you have some for just contributions, right? Like it's really, really dynamic, and that really helps with decentralization. Like, and maybe harping back onto one of your older points, right, was like, you look at something like Ethereum. Everyone loves to praise how decentralized Ethereum is. Cool. Listen, like half the stake is with Lido and like 1 or 2 other players. And then most of the nodes that are being run by teams that are running multiple nodes for different projects. So it's like, yes, they have an insane validator count, but it's also because you can run their node on a potato. It doesn't mean that it's true. Like Solana has got the highest requirements of any chain to run a validator. It is intense. Like,
and we want to increase it, and it's
going to increase. Alpenglow is going to increase it. Like it's going to become in more intensive hardware, but that's why Solana can do what it does. But it's extremely expensive to run a Solana validator. It's like $12,000 to $13,000 a year on hardware. You testnet mainnet, and you also need to pay overages, thousands of dollars in overages, bandwidth costs. Right? It's like it's insanely expensive, and you need 100 SOL. Well, that's for SFTP, self-stake, whatever. Anyway, I digress. I don't know if you wanted to lead on with anything else there, but
potatoes.
Yeah, potatoes.
Potatoes. That was a takeaway. No, yeah. The question was just getting into like what differentiates in your mind like Layer 33 from like other pools like Aero. And you can be a big fan and proponent of both, but it's like what specifically gets you excited about Layer 33 and how much you've been contributing?
I think it's more so just that the group is trying to achieve a single goal together, right? Most stake pools, you're just individually staking to validators. There isn't a communal aspect. It's just like we all get stake from this pool, right? But Layer 33, it's like, hey guys, how can we build stuff together and support each other in building things? And that's why I think it's very smart that it's a small group initially, and then you start adding people on as time goes on, because to coordinate a group is extremely hard. Listen, I'm going to talk about DAOs again, but the reason DAOs always fail is because, or any kind of group, essentially is because they're too big. There's too many moving parts. There's too many opinions, right? If you have a central force of decision, obviously it can be more successful. But with Layer 33, there's like a real communal aspect there. There are obviously like, there's some deciding factors, but everyone, I think, kind of understands one another, has been around long enough to kind of work in tandem to achieve a single goal. I just want to see there's some questions here as well, Lucas and from Gabriel. So Lucas says, don't you guys think being able to run a decentralized network on low spec potato hardware and that spec should go down rather than up?
1 second, boys. I'm switching to my computer camera.
No worries. So Lucas, I think that, yes, that is good. But I think for what Solana is trying to achieve, it's hard to do that. The closest thing I can say that is being done to allow many people on chain to actually run kind of validators, or more, they're more so like RPCs, I'd say, is what Mithril is doing, Overclock is doing with Mithril nodes. This would be kind of lower hardware requirements, and it kind of helps with transactions on chain. So there is like something like that coming, but for Solana's general infrastructure, as far as I understand it, Gabriel can also maybe elaborate, or even Nikki, when he comes back, then Solana can now, right? Maybe in a couple of years, once the chain has become a lot more kind of optimized in those areas, maybe we can run lesser hardware. But Gabriel, if you have anything in the comments, bro, you want to add on that, that'll be awesome. Otherwise, Aero can be a testing ground. So Gabriel says Aero can be a testing ground, early seed phase, early seed phase, right? So early stages for these validators. Layer 33 feels like it could be a series for proven indie operators. So I definitely agree with that. Do you have any opinions on these two questions, Nikki, on the right here, from Lucas and Gabriel?
Yeah, I got you. For the people at home, more behind the scenes setup stuff. Can everyone still hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%, bro. You're good.
So if you get the best webcam is actually you use like a nice Sony camera as a webcam to look like super professional, but you need to order the battery that plugs in directly to an outlet because the battery inside the camera dies really fast, even if you have it plugged in directly. So I already ordered on Amazon. It comes later today. But,
dude, are you shitting on my Logi webcam, dude? Does this not look? Is my quality not great?
Just kidding. No, yeah, but that's because you look good. There's a difference. I need the absolute best setup to make me look good.
No, you're a beautiful bald man, and that's why you're so successful. Anyway,
we got the hat on. We got the hat on today to hide it. We're looking a little fuzzy. I haven't shaved since my talk, because I shaved right before that and then haven't since. But we're representing Golfin, which we love.
Nice.
So the question, so what I saw like on Aero versus Layer 33, I would agree with that it's like Aero and many stake pools that sort of pick larger groups. It's like, okay, this is for decentralization, but it's much more of like a wide net, where Layer 33 is sort of like after you graduate. Like, it's like, okay, can you prove to be the best? And you prove that you have tons of value to provide to the ecosystem. And that's not for everybody. Like, some people just are okay. Like, you can run a performant validator and not have the time to build products, right? Like, you can, like, that's okay, right? But Layer 33 is meant to be like, like the Avengers of validators. It's just a different group.
Yeah. I think that's also a good point, is in bringing up, like, you can run a really proficient validator and that's all you do, but I feel like it's much harder to just be that in this day and age, right? Especially when you're competing against huge institutional players, right? Like, you kind of need to be offering more than just a super well-run validator that has optimal uptime and 0 commission. But great questions from Lucas and Gabriel. Thanks, guys. So I think one thing I wanted to quickly do, because we are nearing the end here, was I wanted to actually have a quick look at what we posted recently. Now, let me see if I can find this. There it is. Here we go. So looking at the submission that we put out to the SEC recently as FaZe, we do actually have a little section here for Layer 33. So, obviously shout out to you guys as well. This was obviously very helpful. I know you were with Devour when he posted this. Shout out Devour as well. He put a lot of work into this with Jeff and Gabriel as well. And I left a comment or two. But this just really kind of goes over what we submitted to the SEC, and essentially the 3 pillars. The main things as to why we did this was obviously to protect state decentralization, but number 1 is through transparency. So issuers should provide clear periodic disclosures, baseline security standards, and open and competitive access. If you guys want to have a look at this, it's on Twitter as well. We'd honestly really appreciate any support on this. It means the world to us. There's a lot of work put into this, and the goal really is to help, protect Solana and its decentralization. So we released another post here with the blog. If you wanted to go read that, you can read that here. Any retweets or comments or anything like that would be hugely appreciated. And then also, I think to put the light back onto Layer 33. Please, guys, go and give Layer 33 a follow. And go read the post, go check it out. Go give Nikki a follow as well. Of
Get
course.
Nikki to 10K.
Get Nikki to 10K. Damn,
The mission.
me, bro. Damn. No, he's almost
Get Nikki to 10K.
Get Nikki to 10K. Let's do that. Let's get him to 10K. And of course, support your fellow homies at FaZe here, and all that. That'll be very, 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 very helpful. Chris, I think you have something special that you wanted to post, so we should probably get that out. And then I think
it's already out. It's out, boys. It's
so
out. So we have.
Okay. Let's finish off with Nikki quickly, and then we can go do
100%.
that. I don't know if Nikki needs to go or anything like that, or if he wants to stay for the epic video. But Nikki, I don't know if you had any closing words that you wanted to give about Layer 33, anything at all, and then we'll jump on and show the hype video that has you in it as well.
You guys have now mentioned a couple times that I'm in this video. I'm expecting to be like the star of the video. You gotta understand, this past weekend has inflated my ego with with in the spotlight, right? With the interviews and on stage. So now there's a video that I'm in. I'm expecting to be front and center.
Okay, I'm gonna apologize in advance because it is quite a quick clip, and it's not like a main stage clip with fireworks and CO2 cannons and stuff going off. It's
interesting.
It's just a clip of you doing an interview.
That's fine. Yeah. I think it's a mistake, but I get it. There's a missed opportunity.
Next time we'll make sure to send you the video and just to give us feedback.
In advance.
And if Nikki's feedback, more of me.
More of me. Yeah.
On the main stage.
People have given that feedback unironically before. I hope to get to a point in my career where I can eventually give that feedback not unironically, and mean it. I'm not featured in this enough. Closing words. Well, thank you for having me, guys. Also, I have to shout out Devour. Got to spend so much time with him at Breakpoint. Is one of the most impressive individuals I've ever met. The speed that he operates at, the amount of things that he's able to manage. It feels like I had a full-time Layer 33 person with me the whole time, but he's also running multiple of his own companies. It's actually surreal. Again, mega impressive. Yeah, truly. And then on the Layer 33 stuff specifically, something that we talked about today, so we'll give you just a quick closing thought and update, is this idea that all these projects, and I believe the OR guys were in the audience, but there are projects that are starting to reach out and they want to find opportunity to support decentralization. And it seems like, we lost Seb. It seems like it's okay. We don't need him. It seems like Layer 33 could potentially be that opportunity for people. So it's okay, if you want to support decentralization and not sure how to do so, reach out to the Layer 33 team or myself. See how you can either support IndieSol, which is our LST, directly, or offer bulk deals to the Layer 33 team, or incentivize people to hold the LST, whatever you want to do. But we're already starting to see these dominoes fall where it's like, okay, if I'm a team building on Solana, and I can look at myself and say, there's nothing that I'm doing right now to support decentralization on Solana, like let Layer 33 be that for you. Yeah, so we're starting to get moving on that. And yeah, that's really it, boys. I'm gonna go eat. I usually don't eat till like it's noon here, and I usually don't eat till like 1 or 2 p.m. But my jet lag feels like I'm like ravenously hungry by like noon now because I'm like 9 hours behind.
No stress at all, brother.
Thanks so much for joining, Mickey.
Yeah, thanks for joining, bro.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Thank you so much for everything you do. Massively appreciate it. The FaZe guys are probably some of the most underrated on all of Solana. We got to find out how to get you guys like even more featured than you already are. I feel like you guys like are a part of like the Solana brand, you know, and I want to see you guys all over more and more. You deserve it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you, bro. Really, really do.
Yeah. Cheers, boys. See ya.
Mickey,
I can just
see you
leave
soon,
normally without ruining anything.
No. Oh, totally.
Okay, bye.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers, man.
Oh, what a legend.
That was awesome. Such a good guy.
No, great chat. Honestly, many things to be excited about when it comes to Layer 33. And yeah, I think there's no better time than now for an initiative like this. But Chris,
drum roll.
Let's see. Let's get it up here. Let's get it to the beginning. All right. Can you hear the audio?
To travel the world.
Could you hear the audio? Okay.
Perfect. Loud and clear.
All right, everyone. Get ready for, honestly, we probably should, I wish I downloaded this so we could actually have it in top tip quality, but I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, guys. This is the Breakpoint After movie that our illustrious Chris here made, shot and edited all himself. So yeah, get ready to get really hype. Let's do it.
To travel the world is a privilege. To be given the opportunity to step into new places, experience new cultures and new moments is something one should never take lightly. But the most meaningful part isn't the destination, it's the people. The chance to finally meet those that you speak to every single day. To shake hands with voices that once lived only on a screen. These moments turn conversations into relationships and ideas into something real. This is what connection looks like, and this is why we do what we do. Okay. Enough with the emotional build-up. Let's run it back. Breakpoint 2025, baby. Breakpoint 2025, let's go.
I love shooting the time lapses, man.
So cool.
We are on our way
GG.
to the Magic Eden event. Breakpoint Day 2 was a great success. Super fun day. And ready for some massive side events tonight. Here we go. Let's go.
Mango.
Life could be worse.
Absolute friggin' banger, dude. So good.
Oh,
so good.
so many memories, man. Watching that video just gets me like so pumped. I love making the edit. Like there was actually so many other clips that I just couldn't squeeze in that I wanted to put in. But yeah, super fun and excited for next year, man.
I think it was as someone who wasn't there, it feels like a perfect kind of like a summary of it. So no, dude, that looked amazing. But thank you so much, guys. Appreciate everyone for being here. I'd have to give out one last little shout out while we have everyone here with us. If you need a tax tool this season, look no further than Netrunner, right? We still have our one sold deal currently available. I'll get this up here as well so you guys can have a look. so we currently still have our one sol deal available. So one sol, you get the rest of 2025 and all of 2026. And we got auto labeling. We have integration for perps coming as well. We have support for flash trade and drift and dupe. Drift is coming after those two. We consistently adding new programs every day to auto label transactions. There's report generation, all of that. We actually are running a very exciting sign up giveaway at the moment, or promotional draw. And I'll give you guys a little bit of context here as well. So essentially, if you sign up to Netrunner between now and the 24th of December, you'll stand a chance to win 500 USDC. So one random person who signs up is going to receive 500 USDC. We'll do a random draw based on the information we receive. We'll either reach out to you via email or on Discord, and we'll announce the winner on the 29th. So, I mean, one sol opening price, you get all of these different, all the different capabilities that Netrunner has, right? Ultra fast wallet indexing, auto labeling for swaps, LPs, NFT staking rewards, and more. Full support for Jupiter Exchange, Flash Trade, and Drift Protocol coming very, very soon. You get 100,000 transactions on our base plan, and you get a full suite of PDF and CSV exports for your taxes. And more and more updates are coming. We also have, a partnership with Solflare that we're busy doing some really cool stuff. Sol Incinerator as well. We're adding some really fun integrations there with them. And it is a Solana only tax tool. So we do Solana in our mind, do Solana better than anyone else, and then expand across that. But again, if you have any questions, please hit us up. Please give us a follow on our FaZe Labs page. Chris, I don't know if you have any closing remarks. Oh, and Blakey, we do actually have Nigeria. Nigeria has been integrated. We're actually going to make a post about that soon, so you can use the platform for Nigeria now.
Yeah, nothing to add from my side. Just a shout out to everyone who joined us today. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. I believe that this is our last FaZe Live for 2025.
Yep.
So wishing all of you a very happy Christmas and a fantastic New Year's. 2026 is going to be an absolute banger of a year. So get excited. Have a great New Year. Spend some time with your friends and family. Go touch some grass. And we'll see you back here, same time, same place in 2026.
Cheers, everyone.
Let's go.